tonight is the 5 principles of extending Ki. Extending Ki is the fourth of the 4 basic principles. Which sensei has lots of principles in Aikido. And that's because his responsibility is to somehow communicate to us through his movement, through his feelings, and through his words, what he's experienced. So, of course, he wrote books. He wrote 20 key principles. He wrote the Shokushu. He wrote the 13 principles to follow if you're an instructor, and on and on and on. He wrote a lot of words. And every one of those words was designed to give you and I, hopefully, a clearer idea of his experience, so that we can recognize that experience in ourselves as it takes hold of us through the years. As usual, with these principles, Sensei wrote them as postures. A posture of this, a posture of that, a posture of this, a posture of that. And it's important to repeat every time that he used the words shisei. In Japanese, they don't have a word for attitude, and which is mental posture, a mental position, and physical posture. There's just one word for both. Shisei. So keep that in mind when I say the word posture. Think of attitude. Think of your mental condition, because the mind leaves the body. So whatever state your mind is in, your body's automatically in that state. You cannot do something with your body and create a mind state. I'll just read you the original 5 principles of extending Ki. Number 1, you are not overly conscious of your body. Number 2, you make full use of centrifugal force in your movements. Number 3, you have soft eyes and a poised body. 4, you show composure in your posture. And 5, therefore, you are bright and easygoing. So, you can see when I read you the original how they arrived at that. The 5 principles of extending Ki. Number 1, a posture in which you are not disturbed by your body. Number 2, a posture in which centrifugal force is working. Number 3, a posture with merciful eyes and a kind face. Number 4, a posture which is quiet. And number 5, a posture in which you are positive and accept all things. Quite different than the original, but you can see where he was coming from. The 5th one of the original, of the translation, the earlier translation, is therefore you are bright and easygoing. The actual, what Toi Sensei said was, have a posture in which you are positive and accept all things. Well, I guess if you're positive and you can accept all things, you're probably pretty bright and easygoing. But it sounds to me a little bit off, a little bit different. In fact, all of these do. So I'm really happy to go back and find these original translations. So a posture in which you are not disturbed by your body. One time Toi Sensei told me, I must have asked him, what does extend Ki or something like that. And he said, oh, so when you see your lover that you haven't seen in a long time, that's extend ki. When you are hungry and someone gives you a nice meal, that's extend ki. When you're sitting with your family in the evening and everyone is happy and quiet, this is extending ki. That's what he told me. Those three examples. Lover, your food, and your family. So I've never forgotten that, and that really speaks to this not being distracted by your body. How you eat, how you appreciate when someone gives you food, and how you, what kind of experience that is for you, is what he's talking about. Not to be disturbed by or distracted by the actions of your body. Of course, you're hungry and you need to eat, but you don't eat like a dog or even a horse. You eat like a human being with deep appreciation of all the aspects of the food. It's like when someone offers you a really nice glass of wine, you appreciate even the physical glass itself. The whole experience is appreciated and valued. Okay, but that's my understanding. It depends on how we use our body in all these circumstances, as to whether it's ki is extended. So, and maybe it's very difficult to understand for some people who hear this for the first time, like extend ki. We in Aikido, we all understand something. We understand. We have an understanding of what this extend ki is. But if I ask you to tell me, it might be difficult. So Toi Sensei is basically giving us these 5 principles to help our understanding, both our cognitive understanding and our experiential understanding. So again, when this takes place in us, we're not confused or discounting it or accounting it to something other than it is. Babies who are just born extend ki. It's not something you have to learn to do. But we have this habit of being so distracted by our body action and so distracted by our judgment of other people and of ourselves, in other words, our monkey-ish mind. We're so distracted by the aspects of mind and body in their separate actions that we may have forgotten the experience of purely including everything in our field of awareness. We are in a dojo, and there's sounds, there's smells, there's texture, there's sight, of course. And we include ki is already fills the whole universe. It doesn't need me to get more ki. Extending ki from me or from you, that's not quite what that means. You don't need to crank it up and generate more ki for the universe. The universe is made of it. That's all there is here. There is nothing but. Negative is a misunderstanding of this. It's all ki already. But your enjoyment of that, or the inclusion of that in your awareness, that's another story. Are you really experiencing all of this now, in time and place? You know, I was thinking that I was looking at a magazine and they had a picture of an actor like this, and I noticed him gazing off into the distance, and they have another one, and then they had one kind of on, but he wouldn't look at the camera. So he's wanting to extend ki. He's wanting to tell you, I'm looking forward into the universe. I'm seeing into time and space. We have some feeling about that makes him feel like that makes me look really cool, really interesting, really like he'd like to know me. You can imagine if you're an actor and they take pictures of you a lot, you have to come up with something. You know? You can't just sit there, you have to something. So I thought, so everybody in some sense knows that there's more to be had, there's more to be included in our experience of life than we actually experience. In fact, I would suggest that there's an infinity of moreness to be experienced in this universe, in this daily life universe. Some pie in the sky, this, sitting right here. A posture in which centrifugal force is working. So, of course, everybody knows Toy Sensei loves to talk about centrifugal force. So, centrifugal force, of course, is the force of the spinning world causes us to fall away from the center. And centrifugal force, the attraction of a small object to a larger object, is gravity, we call it centrifugal force. So the balance of those two gives us some sense of harmony in our body as we're walking around and lying down and sitting down, working in the world. But centrifugal force is very important. For instance, when I'm sitting here and watching the uke, I say, okay, everybody do uke. So I sit over here in my chair and watch. So some students, the more experienced students, have a sense of centrifugal force in their movement. In other words, they're not distracted by the phenomenon. They're a master of the phenomenon. We all know this. And then there's, of course, people that are just learning, maybe, or people that have a lot of extra weight or a lot of maybe injuries that makes it really difficult, stiffness, old age. It makes it difficult to go along with what happens. You just imagine if the figure skater that's spinning loses centrifugal mastery, centrifugal force, for just an instant. Pew! They're going to go flying away because it's so powerful. They're capturing so much of that. And I think this is what Toy Sensei is talking about in our movement. Everybody knows when you move in to do a 10-count art, you're moving in this way. It's very easy to, particularly when you're learning, it's very easy to lose your balance, meaning you lose your ability to be in harmony with centrifugal force in your movement. Because it's not just the centrifugal force that's created by the earth spinning, but it's your centrifugal force you create when you move. And when an uke comes in on you and moves, and you move with them, that's centrifugal force. And if you're not careful, you'll stumble off. Or maybe worse yet, you'll collide with the other person. But when we see someone that's mastered the arts of Aikido, we really mean mastered the art of centrifugal force. Even if as you get older, you move more slowly. Okay. A posture, with merciful eyes and a kind face. Can you please make that for me? Show me merciful eyes and a kind face. Yeah, it's like the actor. You cannot. I mean, you're going to fake it. You're going to do something. Can you make your eyes merciful? And what do? It's not a phenomenon of the face, but it shows in the face. What is it showing? It's showing your heart. It's showing your compassion. It's showing your heart, your compassion. If you have an ease about you with other people, and you have a sense of supporting them, then you're going to have a kind face, and your eyes won't be offensive, they'll be more supportive, more gentle, more merciful. A posture which is quiet. I love that word. I mean, you could very well have said peaceful or calm or still, but it's not. But quiet covers everything that I like about it. Of course, on the grossest plane, it means you're not constantly tweaking. You see somebody on drugs and they're like, really tweaked out. They call it tweaking. Well, that's a mind that is really screwed up, really at war with itself. So a mind that is peaceful, a mind that is calm, is very quiet. So the body is quiet. The body is quiet even in conflict, even in rapid movement, even when in the middle of an Aikido technique, Shomanuchi Kokinage, your body is quiet. So there's no extra movement, no extraneous movement. It's very simple, straightforward, very basic, nothing extra. When you start out in Aikido, well, maybe I should just say, when I started out in Aikido, I had been on stage for a long time, and I was a professional, so I thought that I could do Aikido in such a way that would be even better, even more impressive. Just add a few twirls, add a couple of extra things in there. And fortunately, none of you knew me then, and you'll never get to see me doing that stuff. But it didn't take Suzuki Sensei very long to get me straightened out just by saying, what are you doing? This is a simple movement. And Toi Sensei was such a wonderful teacher because he taught us to be natural. He said, Aikido is not a martial art. You don't have to do anything fancy. It's a very simple connection with the other person. And once the connection is made, everything takes place naturally after that. Sensei used to tell us, used to say, the originator of Aikido, used to say that if you attack me, before you attack me, it's finished already, you're down. Because his mind, he was basically saying, my mind is quiet. My body is quiet. Suzuki Sensei liked to say a lot, Skiganai Shisei. Skiganai Shisei is a posture, Shisei, of no opening. Ski, opening, ganai, not possible. A posture of no opening. Which he meant by that is quietness. Not some sort of stance that prevents somebody from attacking you, which you see in martial arts a lot. Toi Sensei used to have a funny little routine he did. It was very hilarious. And when he did it, you could see, of course. So he was sort of making fun of holding a stance. That's not Skiganai Shisei. That is an opening. Whatever you do to make yourself look quiet or calm or peaceful or undisturbed or centrifugally mastered, all those things we try to do are actually just getting in the way. It's a natural state. Do nothing. State. Doesn't mean don't do anything. It means do nothing. And the last one, a posture in which you are positive and accept all things. Isn't this one, and aren't all of them, in fact, calmness? I mean, that's what we just discovered from the first three, was that they were all calmness. That's what they're all about, a calm mind. in the midst of daily life, not just a calm mind in meditation, a calm mind in the midst of everything. And how else can we accept all things? The good, the bad, and the ugly. We can't do that. We're judging. We're busy. If the mind is not calm, the mind is disturbed by what's happening around us. Of course, we're not quiet. So extend keys. I mean, in the beginning, when you have a beginning student, you teach them unbendable arm. And you can tell them, okay, so extend ki through your arm. Don't make it stiff. Keep it from being bent, but extend ki through your arm. So in that sense, that's not wrong, but in the beginning, you have to give them something to do, because so distracted by embarrassment and nervousness and not sure and doubt, anxieties, give them something to do. Toy Sensei has explained to us here, this is advanced, this is actual state of being when ki is extended. But all things are included. And even that has levels and levels and levels. In the beginning, maybe all things that are included means you just don't have any enemies. You don't judge people. You support everyone. That's nice. But there's still me and you. But maybe other people out there. And that begins to coalesce into something completely different. Where there's not just me, there's just one. It's not just everything is interdependent and can't exist without each other, yes, but you can see that cognitively, you can see that. That makes sense. I can explain that to a person. What I'm talking about is something that can only be experienced. It is not comprehensible in any kind of cognitive way. Intellectual. So it can't be spoken. It's impossible. If you try to speak it, you mislead. So that's what I have to say about extend ki. Please, now it's your turn. Just ask me a question or make a comment.
As a comment, more. Did you hear the young girl speaking about climate change on the radio? If you haven't heard her, you won't be able to.
Yeah, I've heard.
Oh, you heard? When you were speaking, I was just thinking because about extending ki, you would think she was completely extending ki, but maybe you could say where she wasn't calm. I was looking at that. But I think the depth of her sincerity was so complete, it created a calmness that I think where she was coming from. Someone could say, oh, but she's not being calm. And in a way, you could see that because she's so intense.
Yeah.
They could confuse that. But if you look further, the depth of her truth, that's where she's coming from, it's deep. She's very compelling in her speaking. But that is a calmness because it's just so, it's just raw truth to her, Anyway, I just thought I'd comment on that because that is definitely, she's extending ki to the fullest. I can see someone going, oh, she's not calm. Not feeling calm. You know what I'm saying? Confuse that.
So she moved.
Well, she reached right in and grabbed you, yeah.
Do you think she does that for everybody?
I think I got the impression everyone I've asked about her was completely, yeah.
It's like the kind of person really difficult to say no to.
Yeah,
right?
it's a force of
Difficult
nature
not
almost.
to agree with that girl.
She's like
Yeah.
a force of
Well, and
nature.
we know that she's already demonstrated. She's already put
Yeah.
her body where her belief is.
Well,
She
there
just sailed that boat across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
That's the girl.
Oh yeah,
right?
I guess so. Yeah. I just hadn't heard her.
What?
Gratitude.
Yeah. That's the girl. Yeah.
Anyway, but anyway, for some reason that just went to my mind.
Yeah, that's a very interesting example. I mean, that is. Let me give you another example, just as a comparison. I used to really like golf, and I was out at Kapalua at one of the golf tournaments 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and I was standing right next to the tee box, and the tee box was elevated about this high, so my head was here. The golf ball was right there. Tiger Woods was standing right there. And he took a couple of, I was looking away, and he took a couple of practice swings, and I went, what the, what was that? And I turned around and looked at him, and he just then hit the ball. He had done a couple of practice swings. Somehow that got my attention. I turned around and looked at him, and as I turned to him, he was hitting through the ball. I very rarely have ever felt anything like that in my life. Okay, so, I often talk about Michael Jordan because I heard this interview with him. Michael Jordan, the basketball player, after his last game. They asked him, how do you do it? And he said, I don't know. When I'm playing and I'm on the court, it comes over me and I get into like the zone. But he said it never happens off the court. That's not how my life is. Tiger Woods, I saw him being interviewed after a golf tournament. He said the same thing. Our work is to do it all the time.
Yeah.
Naturally, when you are in a state of great expectation from others, so they give you really powerful key. That can destroy you and make you unable to speak, or that can make you like her. If she was able to stand up and do that in front of millions of people, so she understood how to use that.
Well, she just absolutely. I get the more impression that she wasn't doing, she was not doing.
Well, you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I do very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why Tiger Woods can't do it in native life, and he can't do it in the basketball player. Michael Jordan can't do it in native, because they depend on that energy.
Yeah.
To create
that. They've trained the focus for that moment.
So Toy Sensei told me the story about the old lady whose house burned down, the grandma, and the son comes home and finds her in the front yard sitting on the katana tansu, which is 300 pounds. And he says, Grandma, how'd you get this? She said, I carried it out. It's important for our family. And Toy Sensei said, that you must have access to that 24/7. This is extent key. But we need to learn to be able to do it without the assistance of 10,000 people or 10 million people, without a cause, without something to get passionate about, but just simply to be quiet and experience this. This is what this is teaching. Okay? Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for saying something like that.
Do something like that.